That's James's waffles, and they're different kinds. So, one of them is made half lupin flour and half this. The other's made half lupin flour and half this. Well, actually, yeah, I had to do something a little different with that one, but maybe I'll talk about that. Quaker muffin oatmeal
That was one of them too?
mix. Yeah, one of them
So
is
3
half
different
that
pancakes,
and half lupin. Yeah.
3 different mixes.
And then this, I made James Earl Grey iced tea with stevia. So this has no sugar whatsoever in it, and no net carbs. This is the Daily Greens iced tea flavor, and that does have some net carbs, and of course this has quite a few. But so there's the information on that, and we'll see if James goes for that. And this is the mixed berry Daily Greens mixed with cherry juice, and he's probably going to talk about special tasks. So we'll see.
No movies today. We
No
were
movies
for a hike
today.
yesterday.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the day we were trying to recover.
Mm-hmm.
We had an appointment too.
So this is my outfit for today. It's just a short little number, and yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to be a short mini dress that you wear over your bikini. I have bikini bottoms on underneath, or I think it probably is, or a shirt that you wear pants with. I don't know. Anyway,
well, technically speaking, you're wearing pants with them, so.
Yeah. So I ended up putting more of this stuff in with the one waffle, because
is that the bottom one then?
Yeah, because I thought it would need it more, and it seemed to hold together. So we'll see what James thinks. Take a bite of each one. You can have it with the orange blossom honey if you like, or the...
Well, that's going to be the default setting for each one of them.
Yeah, so just try them each a bite and with the same thing, and then you can mix it up as you go along a little bit later.
Here.
Boy, that really
Mix and match.
flakes off of there. I don't know if that's very good. Anyway, there we go.
Bizarre.
So you can do that when you want to.
Okay, so you've kept, this is the top one,
Yep.
This is the second one, this is the bottom one, okay.
Okay.
So you
You'll
can
be
tell
able
me
to
which...
taste the difference.
Okay, so I'm going to taste without.
Okay.
Double one, Rava. Well, it's doubled up, so it doesn't taste so much of lupin. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
So that's the middle one?
Yep.
And you can tell which one that is.
I'm guessing it's the cookie one.
Yeah, it's the muffin mix. So that
which one do you think I like?
The muffin mix.
Of course.
Yeah, because I'll show you. This has a lot of net carbs. So this is something that you can get from the Shoppers clearance quite often. And you can see you just subtract the fiber from the total carb, and you get what the net carb is. And you can see there, a lot of that is actual sugar, 29 grams of actual sugar.
You can actually taste it, actually. So,
yeah.
Yep.
So, whereas, could you tell which one was the top one? Could you tell?
Well, I knew it was this because you were saying it was a double dose. This one tasted more of the lupin. The lupin came through.
In the top one?
Wait, was there Lupin stuff in all of them?
All of them.
Okay. So you put a double dose of something else on the bottom one.
Yeah.
A double dose. You put something sugary in this one. So it tasted of sugar to me.
Yeah.
This one tasted of Lupin, which is a little bit bitter.
Okay, so this
I was
didn't
actually
hide
able to
the
figure
Lupin.
stuff out.
Yeah.
But
But
that's not a bad thing
No.
necessarily. Because what really makes a waffle? Whatever you add to it. You see what it is? It could be blueberries, it could be syrup, it could be whatever.
Yeah. So this one only has 1 gram of actual sugar in a 2/3 of a cup serving, which is 1 waffle. But since I halved it, so that would only be half a gram, right? Because I put the Lupin in, and so these figures would be half that.
So
Keep that in mind when you're looking at them.
yeah, if you mix it in, understand if you don't like the Lupin taste, you might not like this mixed at the ratio that
Because
Polly
I
makes it.
was
I like the Lupin
talking
taste.
with one of my best friends, Google's AI, and they recommended with the Lupin thing, one of the things was just cut it, like if you eat other flours, then you don't need any sort of something to bind it. If you have the like wheat, if you're mixing it with wheat, or in this case it's a lot of oat, but it's still anyway, and sugar. Not sugar, holy. But anyway, so I'll show you the carbs on this one though. There's still a lot of carbs in this, but it's not like the other one was. So there's that. And then this one, which James actually, I guess he liked that one okay, so you can see the carbs in that. So
This is weird. This is a cake mix.
It's pancake.
A pancake.
Yeah.
It says birthday cake.
Yeah. It has those little sprinkles, candy sprinkles in it.
On the cover.
It has it inside of it. They're in there.
Okay.
But if I leave the mix sitting for too long before I make them into waffles, then they kind of melt. So,
Oh, that's
yeah.
because I'm not seeing them here. So.
But yeah, so this has cashews in it and stuff like that. So maybe, and semolina and split chickpeas and whatever.
I think you taste the chickpeas more than the.
Yeah, and
What
this
was
one
the
had,
nut that was in there? Cashews. I think they cheaped out on the cashews.
This one has no sugar in the package, and it has the least amount of carbohydrates, but that's per 1/4 cup serving. You may have noticed, and there would be more than that in one waffle. So it might actually work out to be more like this or something.
Okay, do I have to punch that
Nope.
open? Okay, I just go.
Yep.
Amazing. It looks as though it never worked.
Give it a squeeze. There you go.
Wow. What do I know?
So,
I'm a techno peasant. Even
and
when it
as
comes
you
to
could
food.
tell, James has a sweet tooth. So,
Come on. Come on.
anyway, what were we hearing on the news?
Yeah.
Oh, you liked that iced tea then that I made?
Enough. I understand. I was
It's not
thirsty.
very sweet. It
Oh,
has
yeah,
very
I know.
little stevia, and so you like the taste of the Earl Grey?
Not really. I don't mind it. I was thirsty. You caught me trying to drink water,
Okay,
and she knew I had a lot of stuff to drink, so
I said
she
there's
said,
water outside.
Yeah, I know. So she was quite firm about it. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
was thirsty.
while I'm making, I have to really rush to get his meal ready, because while I'm making it and trying to get it outside, he's opening bags of chips or whatever.
If stuff's around, understand, I'm not the kind of person that goes out and buys chips or chocolates. I don't get those kind of cravings. If stuff's right in front of me, I go for it. You know? Luckily enough, most of the chip bags I see around are, the mini type.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I get them from the library for free.
Yeah.
So
most of the
I could stop picking them up, I guess, and then he wouldn't eat them. But he'd
like
find
chips are
something
the
else.
type of thing, and I'm probably not unusual, that I can toast a whole bag. In fact, it's not unusual. I can't stop.
Well,
It could
they're
be
just
popcorn.
designed that way.
It could be whatever. And so if it's a big bag of chips, they're gone. But if they're not in front of me, they could be like downstairs or whatever.
So you prefer the Daily Greens iced tea?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
So even though it's got greens in it and it looks like some sort of poison out of a comic book or whatever, it's actually quite tasty. It has tea in it. But the Earl Grey, I know the tea taste.
Are you going to have some of the cherry stuff, or should I put it away?
I'd put it away right now because what I'm doing is comparing the 3 different types of things. It's one thing when you're eating a waffle by itself. That's not the way a waffle should be eaten, I don't think.
Yep.
So now I'm doing a it's Caterus paribus, all other things being equal. So I don't want to put this on one thing and then put honey on another thing and the blueberries on another thing. I want to just leave the waffle, inviolate, as it were. So not bad.
Okay.
Sorry about taking my time like a wine taster. Don't they slosh the wine around? It's almost disgusting, but what the heck?
Well, anyway, the Daily Greens iced tea is not very many net carbs. Not like the waffles, that putting half lupin flour and half whatever.
I gotta say, I've never enjoyed tea as much as that. You notice how
I know you love that stuff.
That stuff goes down.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Daily Greens
really
are
cheap.
healthy.
Yeah.
Now, green tea apparently is healthy. Regular tea, I don't think it's like coffee, but it's probably not great for you. Coffee is horrendous. Anyone who's drunk coffee has got to know about what I call coffee brain. It's like what my dad used to call bad students. He was a teacher.
Yeah.
A certain type of scatterbrains. So,
well, coffee's
do you know the
interesting.
feeling with coffee? That sort of thing.
It wakes you up really well if you're not accustomed to having caffeine. Then you have some caffeine and wow, it really works. And then the next time, not so well, less and less.
That might be
less of a kick every time. And so you're trying to always catch up.
I know what it's like to be addicted to coffee. I had a horrible job. It was given to me by one of the elders in the church I was raised in. I'm not going to mention where it was. He was a very nice guy, but it was a horrendous job. It was just the lowest of the Joe jobs. And for example, I spent a whole day, I think it was 2 days, shoveling out a place where they had farm equipment on display. And so it was weeds growing up through gravel. And I ended up having tennis elbow on my wrist from that, just from those 2 days. And some miserable work. I can recall another time I spent a whole day just shoveling out grain elevators. Not elevators, grain bins. And I probably should have been wearing a mask, but I don't think it would have caused long-term troubles when it's only a day, whatever. But
back then, I don't know if people did things like that.
No, of course not.
Just
anyway, it was a miserable job. So to keep going, I started drinking coffee at coffee breaks. I started with 1 cup of coffee. By the end of the summer, and that was the 2 months, it was between grade 11 and 12. It was only 2 months. It wasn't a university break like 4 months. I was up to 6 cups.
Oh, wow.
That's a serious addiction. Right? And it's not as though I was getting a thrill out of it. It was just to get me through. It was such a miserable job. But the good thing about being addicted to something, if you kick it or whatever, and it's not around, you don't feel the need to go back. And stuff like that, especially when it's under stress conditions where the stress is taken off or whatever. I felt no craving to go back to it or whatever. Not recommended, but so I know the feeling. I suppose some people have gotten. Nowadays, who knows what the kick people get off Red Bull and those other. They call them power drinks, or what do they call them? They're powerless drinks. The brain functioning goes down severely, from what I can tell. With those power drinks, they are.
Yeah,
worse than not recommended.
I was in university math class, and I've been doing really well, surprisingly. And for the final, I don't know why I did it, but I decided to stay up. Sometimes I have trouble sleeping, so maybe I just was having trouble sleeping from the stress anyway. And so I decided to drink coffee while I was studying. And then I mean, in the morning, I had to drink a lot of coffee, but I was so burnt out. And I may as well have not written that test. It was terrible. But I got through the class, so.
I remember that now.
It was terrible.
I'd forgotten about it.
So embarrassing, because the professor liked me and stuff. I think he was really impressed that I didn't think I was going to do well, and I was doing.
Did well enough.
Well, he was a good teacher. So.
That was actual math, or was it math?
It was statistics. It was I had tried taking the course before, and I thought, I'm going to fail, and I dropped it. And I was like, well, I need to take it so that I can get through my... Yeah. And I did that with a few courses. I just got too panicky, and I'm like, that's it, I'm going to drop it. And I dropped it, and then I'm like, well, I'm going to have to take it if I want to get through this program. And I'm not the kind of person to give up on things once I start them. And so it's like, oh, man, I couldn't take that decision back, and so I had to do the class again, right? And because I didn't want to give up on the program.
Spoiler alert, she got through the program.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. But I have this real terror about math. So anytime I'm up against math, I'm like, I can't do it. I gotta quit, run away. And then but when that teacher, he was really good, and he somehow he managed to explain things in a way I could understand them, and I got through. So. Did
he have a brush cut?
What? No, that's a different guy. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I had to take the class with him again. So I had the same instructor. The statistics, I had a different instructor the second time. I don't know if it made a difference, because I did get through the other math class that was an agriculture math class. And it was no fault of the teacher. He's a very good job. I just panicked, and I dropped out, and the teacher's aide was like, why did you drop out? You were doing fine. And I was like, I was not doing fine. I was totally lost. I'm scared. But anyway, so that's that. So you've tasted all of the waffles, and which one is the best one?
I think it was this one.
So the one with the muffin. The muffin. Oh, so you like this?
The muffin was the middle one, right? No.
Yeah, the muffin was the middle one.
Mm-hmm. I like the top one.
Huh? So the birthday cake one which he said was too lupin-y. Oh. He could taste the lupin, but when he added the honey, he liked it the best. So there you go.
I think. See, it's the one I've eaten the most of.
Yeah. Okay.
That should tell you something.
Yeah.
This one tastes a bit salty, the bottom one.
Okay. Well, it's not really meant to be. Mm-hmm. Like, I just had this around. This was given to us, so thought, let's try that out. So.
This is the proof of the pudding is in the tasting. Unfortunately, that's not my coinage, but it's important. It's it applies to so many things. It's not just cooking.
All right. Well, somehow I have managed to waste a lot of time just talking about waffles. I don't know.
No, it's a waste.
Okay.
People watch this show for the food, don't they? As much as the movies.
Maybe they do. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So, last 10 minutes of the show. Did you want to talk about this or no?
Sure.
Okay. I'll leave you to it. And you don't want the mixed berry.
No.
Okay, that's gone then. But you do want the honey.
Definitely.
Okay.
I'm probably going to put more honey. Anyway, Pauline was saying, well, you want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about politics ever again. I was talking with someone out on a walk. We're both on a walk. Well, there's two people. One guy did the talking for the couple I was interacting with. I was talking about a certain plague that hit the world and how I had a stroke as a result of the first time I caught the plague. How I got this skin cancer on my nose, a loose part of my nose. I have to wear masks, and this was caused by the mask. Lost my dad in that plague, during the plague. It wasn't right at the beginning. He caught that plague. He survived it, but within a year he's dead. I know another person, not nearly as old as my dad, a doctor too. Neither had the comorbidity of being overweight or having a bad diet, whatever, or having diabetes. And the doctor caught it way worse than my dad did, even though he's possibly 15 years younger than my dad. My dad would have been 98, 99 years old when he caught it. 98 and a half, 99. The doctor was in the mid-80s, somewhere around there. The doctor, within a year, he had a very bad reaction to the certain plague. And I asked him, like, for example, he said, I was in the hospital for quite a while. I said, how long? He said, I don't know. All I did was I woke up in hospital. That's how badly the plague hit him. He survived it. He was telling me about it. But within a year, he was gone. This certain plague has lingering after effects. Doesn't matter if you get the long plague or the acute plague. So I lost more of an acquaintance and a friend when it came down to that doctor. Played soccer with him way back in the day. And took one course in Japanese history with him. So I was talking to this couple. And all the guy said, he started backing out. He said, I don't like talking politics. I don't like talking politics. The funny thing, folks, is politics affects you. You may not want to talk about it. Ignorance is bliss, as other people have said many, many times. But here's my take on it. Ignorance is bliss until reality comes and hits you upside the head. You want me to repeat that for you? Ignorance is bliss until reality comes and hits you upside the head. Now, reality hit me upside the head. Believe me. I wasn't, when the certain plague hit, I wasn't walking around with rose-colored glasses. I knew what was going to happen to the world and is still happening to the world. I predicted what was happening, going to happen. I predicted the plague would last more than 3 years. And I predicted that it would last potentially forever and ever. Amen. I predicted there'd be more than 2 waves. I predicted that there was the potential for an infinite number of waves. I predicted that there would be 50 million deaths. Depends on how you count it. I'm sure my dad, who died partially of it, or this doctor I was mentioning that I knew, who died partially of it, aren't counted in the official statistics, but from what I can gather, it's 10 million at least, and still counting. Still counting. Politics I don't like talking politics. I don't like reading about it. I don't like reading history. But unfortunately, history repeats. And unfortunately, the worst chapters of history are the ones that tend to repeat the most insistently. Don't know why it is. This is a, well, he considered the Cold War a war. Huh? He would consider himself a soldier, a warrior fighting in the Cold War. He was fighting the Cold War even before it was, he considered it a Cold War. A lot of people say the Cold War was initiated by the Americans after World War II. The commies were so friendly. They were our allies. Well, sometimes you have to accept as allies some of the scummiest people in the world, so long as they're not the scummiest. And that's the way the Soviets were, the Russian Soviets were. They were the second scummiest people in the world. Maybe even worse than the Italian fascists. But not as bad as the German Nazis. Now, the Cold War existed from 1917. 1917, not 1945. Some people claim the Americans started fighting the Cold War, for example, using atomic weapons against Japan. That was supposed to be a warning to the Russian Soviets. Read Richard Rhodes if you don't believe me. That's some people think that. That's just bourgeois, they used to say. I don't know what bourgeois stands for. Hopefully it makes it past the internet censors. You see, what happened is the Soviets got rid of the Comintern. What is that? It's short for Communist International. Comintern. They got rid of it in 1943, and I think they brought it back in a little after World War II, 1947. 4-year hiatus. Communist International was about spreading communism, potentially, ideally, for them, around the world. They were fighting the Cold War. I don't think the Comintern existed officially right from 1917, but it definitely existed before 1947. The Russians put it into abeyance. They didn't get rid of it. I believe it was in 1943. And they would have instituted again when they, 1947, why is there a 2-year hiatus after the end of World War II? Well, they're hoping to get Marshall Plan help. Give us a lot of money. We can't handle our own economy. So you capitalists, we want to parasite off of you. And that's the only way communism can actually get, for example, technological advance. It's just they parasite off capitalists. It's not about innovation. Communism isn't about innovation. And it's a challenge to social democrats, like actually come up with something new instead of parasiting off a capitalist. I start believing more in your system. It used to be my system. If you actually show that you're about innovation. My brother who drunk the Kool-Aid